in the other programming languages you have understood something like arrays and all. Now here and in the Java or in the C# you understood something like array list. Something similarly we have in Python something called as list. So when we go there, you'll understand what is a list and what is the syntax of creating a list and what are the benefits of using the list. So you understand this list. It's basically a data structure which is used for data storage, and followed by that the dictionary, which stores the key value pair. So you have a key and a pair, and what is the syntax and how do we create the dictionaries, and we will be working through many examples programs related to all these things. And then regular expressions, which are used for pattern matching. Now how do we write regular expressions in Python, and how do we search for the substring within the main string by writing the regular expressions. Now with this, after you understand the concepts of lists, dictionaries and regular expressions in Python, so not only these many concepts, we want to discuss many other concepts as well, but for summarizing it in the course learning objectives, I have written few important things. So next, fourth course learning objective is to implement the object-oriented concepts in Python. So you already know the object-oriented concepts, but here you'll be learning how to do it using the Python, how to create a class using Python, how to create an object using the Python, and that comparison you can do now. So you have written the classes and objects in C++, you have written it in Java, you have written it in C#. So now how do we do that in Python? When you're doing that in Python, you'll understand a lot of differences between what OOC concepts you're doing using the other programming languages and what you're doing here. So to tell in simple terms, say if you write a program using C, I have a problem statement, I want to write a C program to solve that. Say I've written a C program and it is of 3 pages. Say for the same problem statement, I'm doing it by using Java, so 3 pages reduces to 2 pages. So same thing, I'm doing it using Python, so it is not 3 pages, it is not 2 pages. So the 3 pages of code what you have written to implement the same problem statement in C, when you're doing the same in Python, it will reduce to 5 to 6 lines. So that is the beauty of the Python, and so you'll understand how to do the object-oriented programming in the Python. And next course learning objective is to build the web services and introduction to network and database programming. Now when I say web services, Python provides a beautiful library called as Beautiful Soup. So the name itself is Beautiful Soup. Are you with me? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Once again, I'll just check the participants. And students don't record the session, because I'm recording it offline, here in my local system. So that recording will be shared to all of you, but don't click on the recording feature which is available here in the MS Teams. So it is my request, don't do that. I request not to click on record session. Once again, I'll just check the number of participants and I'll download the list. Okay. Let me go back here. Yeah. Can you see my screen now? Yeah,
Yes,
the
sir.
course learning objectives. Yeah. So the last course learning objective is to the last course learning objective is web services and introduction to network and database programming. So when I say web services, you'll learn how to do the web scraping. So there is a beautiful library available in Python called as Beautiful Soup. So if the same thing you got to do in web scraping, if you want to do using Java, in Java there is a library called as JSoup. So that is nothing but Java soup. Similarly in Python, so we have a library called as Beautiful Soup, and using Beautiful Soup you can go for extracting the required elements from the web pages. Say for example, I want to extract all the hyperlinks which are present within a web page. So if I pass that web page as an input to the library, Beautiful Soup library, I can extract all the links from that web page. Okay, and that is what is web scraping. And this is required, and this Beautiful Soup is the library which is most widely used in the web mining. So while web mining, say for example you want to mine some data from the web pages, then the Beautiful Soup Python library is used for that purpose. And when it comes to networking, here you'll learn the socket programming. So here you'll understand the beauty of the Python programming language. So when I go there, that point, I think we will go to this course learning objective in the 5th module. So there you'll learn the differences between the programming languages. So I'll show you one example. I'll be showing you one example of how to do the socket programming using C, and one example on Java, and the same on using the Python. So you'll find a lot of differences. So when you're doing the same thing using C programming languages, it is around 5 to 6 pages of code which you have to write, and Java 3 to 4 pages, and when it comes to the Python programming, it is half a page of program which you'll be writing. So that is the beauty of Python programming, and you'll understand that. And of course the database programming also. Using Python, you can easily do the relational database programming. So connecting to the database, inserting to creating a beautiful front end through which you can insert the data to the database. It could be any database, Oracle or MySQL, or even SQLite, whatever may be the database. Okay, but here I'll be taking the example of SQLite database. SQLite database will be taken as the example, and it will be demonstrated how to do database programming with Python. And along with, even though the syllabus doesn't enforce anything on the UI programming, so I am just planning to have demo sessions on creating the UI applications as well using Python. So this is what the learning objectives. Okay, next, the course outcomes. So the first thing is at the end of learning all these things, what is that you gain? So you'll gain the knowledge to apply the Python programming language syntax and semantics for writing the programs to a given problem definition. So the moment you complete learning the entire course, you'll be able to apply the syntax and semantics of the Python programming language in order to write the programs for any given problem definition. And next, analyze the given problem statement and decide what concepts to use. Say whether you are interested using the list or the dictionaries or the regular expressions in developing the application. So that you can decide by performing the thorough analysis. So once you understand the concepts of lists, dictionaries and regular expressions, all these things, you'll be in a position to distinguish each one of them and do better analysis and decide which kind of data structure suits for your application development. And then interpret and evaluate the concept of object-oriented programming using Python. Okay, and then design and develop the application related to network programming, as already told. So you'll understand the concepts of circuit programming, and it is dead easy, So network programming is using Python is something like flying in the sky. If I want to relate you, say network programming using C is something like walking. Say I want to travel from Bangalore to Mysore, and I reach, so I start traveling by walking. So network programming using C is something like walking from Bangalore to Mysore, and network programming in Java is something like traveling from Bangalore to Mysore using a train or a bus, and network programming using Python is something like traveling from Bangalore to Mysore by flying. Okay, so that is the beauty. And then web services, as I told, you'll understand how to use the beautiful soup library for scraping the web. Scraping the web is nothing but extracting the important elements from the web pages. And database programming using the Python APIs, and Python provides many application program interfaces, and using those we're going to learn all these things: how to do network programming, how to do web services, and how to do database programming. Is that clear? The learning objectives and the outcomes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and this is the mapping CO. We have identified 4 COs here, CO1 to CO4, and the mapping to the graduate attributes, 12 graduate attributes. I hope all of you know these things, because even last semesters also we have shown these things. And this is the mapping. So wherever there is 3, it means it's an highest mapping. 2, it's a moderate mapping, and if there is a 1, it's a least mapping or the low mapping. Okay. And I have mapped this PO5. So this is the basic engineering knowledge, and this is the problem statement, and this is I think the analysis, and this is PO5 is the modern tool usage. Even for the modern tool usage, I have given you the moderate mapping for CO4. Why? Because you will learn to use the spider. So for demonstrating all the Python programs to you, I'll be using the spider. So you just observe my mouse movement here. So this is the icon. I've already installed Python to spider. This is an IDE where you can write the Python programs and execute. So I'll be using this spider for demonstrating the execution of all the Python programs, even when the class is happening. Okay, and I request all of you to download the spider and install it. So there are many other tools, IDEs, integrated development environments, which are available for running and writing and executing the Python program. But I suggest you people to use this spider, because I'm using this. If you have this, it will be good. Okay, now you can use other also, but I recommend you people to use the spider IDE. So let me just open this and show you. So these are all the free things. You can easily download it from the net and you can install it. So I'm just planning to have all this related softwares included in the download sections in my Google site. So you can also download from there. So as of now, it is not available. So by tomorrow evening or day after tomorrow, you can see a separate section in my Google site with the related softwares to application development using Python. So it will take some time to get launched. Okay. Now this is with respect to the course learning objectives and the outcomes. Okay. And if I go still further, this is the COPO mapping justification, which I feel is not necessary for you people. So next is I'll just walk through the syllabus. I'll show you the syllabus. Okay. See Python application development using Python. So subject code is 18, CS 55. So you have external marks is 60, so it will be conducted for 100 and it will be reduced for 60. So internal IA marks, as usual, 40 marks it's there. And so we're coming to this module 1. Okay, so you'll understand the Python basics. Python basics. So we start with this entering expression into interactive shell. So that means you can write the Python commands directly in the interactive shell and get those commands executed. And that again I'll be demonstrating using the spider. So spider, this can be used for as an interactive shell also, and it can be used for writing the programs, big programs, and compiling and executing. So for both the purposes, I'll be using the spider as interactive shell also, and also for writing the bigger programs. So and then understand the concepts of integers, floating point, strings, data types in Python, and concatenating, string concatenation, so replication, storing values in the variable. So all these things you know with respect to other programming languages, but now here we'll be discussing the same, how to do it using the Python programming language. So how to declare an integer variable, float, all these things, and how do we assign the values to the variables that are created within the Python programming language. And then we start writing the small Python program, first Python program, or my first program, something like this. And then Boolean values, we understand the concept of Boolean values, comparison operators, Boolean operators, all these things, because this is entirely new language now. You should know what are the operators used for the comparison purpose, what are the operators used for the Boolean purpose. Okay? All these things, and then slowly we'll get into we'll start with these basic things, understand the elements of the Python programming language, and then we will slowly get into the functions part. We'll learn how to write our own functions within the Python programming language. So the first module is more of the basics, where you'll understand the elements of the Python programming language, and in the second module you'll start understanding the lists, dictionaries. It focuses more on the lists and the dictionaries, so which are the data structures which are used for storing the large volume of data. So in the module 3, so you'll be learning on the regular expressions. Yeah, the spider is getting launched now. Okay, I'll just this is how the spider ID looks. It's still connecting to the kernel. So it says you can see two windows here. So this is the window where you'll be writing the Python programs, and this is the window where you'll be writing the Python expressions in an interactive shell. This is called as an interactive shell, or you can call it as interactive console. So you can just observe here, it is written as IPython console, nothing but interactive Python console. That means you give a command here and press enter, you immediately get back the response for it. So hence it is called as an interactive shell, or it's also called as an interactive Python console. And what you are seeing here is the Python program. It is my Python program, and so this is the import statement. We are importing the library with the name math, and this is not required as of now, but since the program is available here, I'm just showing you. And this is the function. So all functions currently you'll be defining like this. Okay, def, and this is the function. Name of the function is print logarithm, and it is taking one argument, and these are the statements that are under this function. Okay, and this is again for prompting, something similar to your scanf statement. So what this is doing is it will display this message on the screen. Printf, enter the value of x. So the message will be prompted on the screen, and when you enter something and it enter key, so it reads the value and it gets assigned to x, and then with that, by passing that value, I'm converting it into integer, converting it into integer and then passing it as an argument to this function. So we'll come to this later. So this is how an interactive Python shell looks like. Now what you can do is you can just click here and you can go for writing the Python commands here, and when you say enter, the command gets executed and immediately it gives you the response. Hence it is called as an interactive Python console. So when we go to the topics, I'll be executing a lot of commands over here, and you'll understand all those things. So this is how it looks, and when you're writing a program, you write and you can run that by using this. Okay. I'll just minimize this. And the Python version what I'm using is 3.6. So this is what the module 3 is all about, the regular expressions and files. Okay. So module 4 is totally object-oriented concepts. You'll learn how to create classes, how to create objects, and how to create methods in the Python programming language. So module 4 is completely dedicated for the object-oriented concepts using Python. So and module 5 is what I told, the web scraping, and you also learn about the database programming and also the network programming. So this is how the course is organized in 5 modules. So first module, understanding the basic elements of Python programming language. Second module, understanding the important data structures available in Python programming language. So like list, dictionaries, and many other data structures are also there. So module 3, you'll understand about pattern matching and regular expressions and working with the files. So module 4, completely object-oriented concepts, and module 5, web scraping, database programming, and network programming. So this is the syllabus, and coming to the textbooks, there are 2 textbooks. So one is this, automate the boring stuff with Python. Okay, so Python is best suited programming language for automating most of the things. And the second book is this, Think Python, how to think like a computer scientist. Okay, so these are the 2 books which are required. So I have the PDFs of both the books, the soft copy or e-copy. So I'll be sharing them, these e-copies, in my Google site, so you can download them. So by today evening or tomorrow evening, I'll be posting these 2 things in the Google site. You can download from there. And reference book is also there. I don't think all these reference books are necessary. Just try to search for the PDFs, e-books. If you get it, use it. Otherwise, these 2 books are sufficient. So this is about the syllabus. Okay, and let me see how many of you have given the course beginning survey. So if you have anything to ask me with respect to the syllabus and course learning objectives and outcomes, you can discuss with me. Hello? Yeah, louder. So louder please.
Clear, sir.
Clear. Okay, good. Any issues with the previous marks, the microcontroller and embedded systems marks and lab marks? No issues with any of you?
No.
Okay, and you have next hour class, right? Which class you have next hour? Okay, so from tomorrow I am going to start with the regular syllabus. Okay, so for
Good
today.
afternoon,
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I've logged in.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll quit, sir. Now I'll quit. So okay, thank you, students. I'm leaving the meeting now. Okay. Okay.